is for identity, heritage, and knowledge management in the MOPS has put out a bold day. And we understand the era that we are currently in and the nature of content that we manage, and to have it accessible on a platform to the people that we serve. That this thing comes along with such bold statements to appreciate what we want to serve to all people. Our goal is to have an information center throughout Papua New Guinea. We in particular thank the Department of ICT. You have initiated our organization, OLA, into that, and I've been given the title as a Digital Transformation Officer. And we thank the Department of ICT for recognizing OLA and our projects and our goals. We want to work closely, knowing very well that you have the mandate to implement on that capacity. Technically, you have government engineers there. Project or program, we must respect the mandate that you hold. Department of ICT. Digitization is a big word. It involves a lot of planning. And it cannot be done by ourselves. It has to be a government program working in cooperation with. In reality, just a brief background on the ICT, on what we have, Mrs. Karina Bundu and our directors, Mr. Robert Yalip and Mr. Coach. The main goal of going into e-government, a target for all government entities. We are also working to complete our internal infrastructure, our connectivity infrastructures. We're working towards delegating our emails. OLA's aim, and in particular, our books, and for this year, and you coming here will shed a lot of light to our invited guests. Thank you so much. Mr. Glenn Vito from the Department of Mr. Joseph, Lisa Marie Warike. Thank you, Mr. Command. Your short presentation. Thank you, DG. With different government bodies to ensure that we during the course of in terms of assistance. So the government cloud platform, an enabler for service roadmaps, the digital transformations we have on the government cloud platform, and how the government depend on government funded ICT project, and how do you get on board? So we had an appointment of the head of department, Mr. Secretary Steven Matainaho was appointed as our head of department. Technology to digitally transform government. So that is when we went down the path of getting an NEC endorsement for digital transformation policy, which was endorsed in 2020. That also set the foundation for many other policies that was developed and those that we are currently working on. Some of these policies are based on implementation of the different technology stacks that we have. Policies that the policy department is working on. So in 2021, we had a restructure for the rebranding of the department, where now we have a digital wing that's responsible for implementing the technology aspect of digital transformation for government. In 2022, coordinate ICT projects or ICT implementation or ICT government plan act. I think its section documents are also available on our site for any of you to go. Workshops for data governance. We will invite you to participate in that as well, just like the government stakeholders. So, what are the digital transformation challenges? The one thing that you can commonly see is outdated hardware and software. You cannot achieve or digitize your mandated response on-premise data centers, host based on certain services. The non-agile SME hardware. You need to buy a server, service provider, or function. So, and obviously, the high risk of basically there's no transfer of skills to the ICT implemented. Hence, the user experience becomes bad, and users are reluctant to utilize the new technology or new solution that's being the networks across the country. So, as per the digital structure, so we have in our team we've got they're in phase one, I think, of that. So, I will speak about the government cloud platform to establish the government cloud platform, and as per the mandate to the ICT to establish the private government list cloud platform. So we have the cloud first approach, and that's also part of the cloud policy where we for maybe 3 years to get it up to standard. So Amazon Web Services, the platform, is as a service is basically that service. So that means you don't have to. Platform as a service is an application. Correct? Platform as a service. Software, where software as a service is focused on, if you've got offices out in Rabaul, Leh, you have a standard setup of your pieces that you'd like deployed out to those provinces. What we do is we capture those, we capture the image of the minutes they will have access to that service. So that's just an example. Code as an infrastructure. Code as an infrastructure. Code as infrastructure. The department is utilizing their platform to currently run the government cloud platform. And I must say, not too many people are for this particular technology stack that allowed the department to now implement the government cloud platform using this technology stack. The biggest achievement for this is what used to take us 5-10 years or 5 to 10 months to for start, we've got what we've termed as the simple service. So these are general ICT infrastructure or services that can be domain names. Domain names like, for example, OLA is OLA.gov domain name to conduct official government business. Offense underneath the act. Service providers to it can be set up in a matter of days. Can hindrance to you implementing respective organizations to continue hosting services that's already provided. As an example, meaning that the departments that we've onboarded, they each have their own data government department. They cannot see your data, they cannot touch your data, they cannot do anything to your data. With this solution is, worry low power blackout. Worry low network links going out. The picture is basically now we have, in your case, if you want specifically for your needs, define now current company of me solution. What do we do now? We spend more money on customizing that solution in order to achieve it. We continue to waste money, they don't deliver on their contractual obligations, and the government lose a lot of money. That is why one of the responsibilities blaming now is to have a coordinated approach so that we hold people accountable for what they're doing in terms of the ICT platform. Where to start? First of all, we've got the basic services that the services, for example, Mitopinis, you need a government domain name. You need an email service in order to communicate. You need a website in order for your client, in order for your stakeholders to get information. Now, websites generally, you mean also looking most important to us. But the thing with the website, it provides you a single source of truth for your organization. When you work you making, what are your functions that the citizens need to know? They shouldn't come to your office. Go to website, like see more of the information you need. But before you go to your website, you need a government domain name. The government domain name allows you to have trust with other stakeholders. You send an email, that's why you plan to scam, something come up. They use Gmail, they use Yahoo email. Salim email, yaman your money, and then they take it. But if you use your organization's email address, even you money like Salim email, you are poor. Knowing very well that they will track you back, come back low, domain name you, they will know what your activities are. But that's one aspect of protecting the work that you do for your respective organization. So, first step for us is onboarding. Onboarding of government department. People come to basic services, people are diplomatic services. You have access to that. Do it this way, you do it this way. No. Simply because we do not know your mandated functions. How you operate lawyer, what do you do? I'm no business from that. You own that process, you know what to do. What we are doing for you is providing a technology stack that you can utilize to digitize your process. Put you on board you with the basic services. We come to manage services. We have a team that basically looks after management services. You have a problem, they call us. We've got a team that will help assist you. Once we finish over here and you start talking based on your requirements, your needs. We have our infrastructure team as well that works on how do you deploy those solutions to regions, provinces, districts. All this is integrated the aspects of operations. It makes it easy. People can go global. And we have multiple layers of security that we can work together with you. What are the services that, for example, National Archives or OLA wants to deploy to its citizens? It also could be an opportunity to create an additional revenue stream for your organization. An example we plan to work right now is the police clearance that Mr. Pomola and his team are working on. So we're digitizing that as a pilot project for citizens. Instead of go sangat line progress, we currently on user acceptance testing with the Department of Police. We'll also be implementing, I think, an internet payment gateway for government, which allows also our citizens now pay online using e-receipt playu, like Australia service you like. Instead of you going to finance, pay, come out, go about go to again apply the service. So this is one of the solutions that we working on. Unfortunately, we don't have demo in the year because we still go through the test don't and I think our stakeholders will make that announcement. I want to talk a little bit about government-funded ICT projects. I think it's important. Government basically spends millions and millions of kina on a lot of ICT projects. Some of these projects have never been delivered. Some of these projects were half-baked. Some of them just started and then died out. So it is important that people are protecting investment in government too, outside the ICT projects. So underneath law act, the government Digital Government Act, we have a section that established the Public Sector ICT Steering Committee, where now we open the Department of Treasury and Finance and Planning and other stakeholders to coordinate implementation of ICT projects. So part of those ICT steering committees, when you have a project that is fully funded by government, you want to national planning mention money making project, you are liable to the government to indicate how you spend your money, how you implement the project. So one aspect of you coordinating the project is through the public steering committee, ICT steering committee. So in the next slide, I'll show you the structure, but basically from that, the act gives that power come now to department to coordinating implementation of ICT projects. So key points program is compliance requirements are any ICT project design government act. So I'm talking about clearly. Compliance, the ICT steering committee will stakeholder that's there, or by him issuing a certificate to you in order for you to now utilize local law. What they do is they look at the architecture of not just the financial side of it, but the security of the data that's been processed in that solution. So I'm something that they will do. So you will be issued as either its work plan, cash flow plan to the department responsible for development budget matters, or its proposal to the non-compliance. If a certificate of compliance is not issued for an ICT project designed by a public body, the project will not be considered documents that on running on projects flow. The NPC as well, logo seeing funding to run projects or go for tender, they will document before process go through other processes. So non-compliance of that is also an offense under the Act. The head of a public body who fails to obtain a certificate of compliance before seeking funding under Section 1 commits an offense. So yung sample, one member Islam. Now the ICT steering committee and how technical working groups are placed and how it goes down all the way to implementation. So when you apply to get a specific or heads of departments or their nominees, a seated ICT steering committee. The CRC technical advisory and technical team Lumiplas that will assess your application. Does it comply to all the standards? Does it comply to security requirements for architectures, blah, blah. Once we are clear enough, this solution is good for implementing that particular project. The technical working group now will report to the ICT steering committee on the implementation aspect of the ICT project. Right now, the technical working group, the different members of the technical working group will be, for example, in this case, the ICT or OLA or planning or DPM for any human resource kind of something. Those are the stakeholders that will work in the technical working group. They compose the technical working group. Right below the technical working group now, these are the implementers that will assist in people implementing that particular project. So, for example, Ola, suppose you go past those digital archives project review, you will be the lead lab. We provide the support. You want technology solution, the ICT can work on. You look, click more lawyer, underneath that we've got vendors. In our case, vendors, we are talking to people like Microsoft, we're talking to people like Facebook, VMware, or big brands, technology. Globe, we are talking to them, and some of them we already have partnerships or arrangements with them in them, so that one, we have technical capabilities, be able to support the solutions that we deploy. Secondly, and I think it's important, if like government. So when we have people are looking, for example, we want to go to Microsoft 365 for your email or large services, we get talk to the provider, they issue us licensing price on a discounted price, now you need buy. So that's a little bit of savings for government. So that's just a brief overview of whatever structure of the STEAM 2. Underneath Law Act, I think Mr. Koban also briefed on that those who are leading ICT implementation within respective government bodies under the Act, they have certain powers as digital transformation officers or TD implementations on our respective public body block. So this is basically the requirements, and we prepare government cloud platform. Just to give you a brief statistics on what we've done so far. Currently, we have about 36 government departments or agencies that's onboarded to the government cloud platform. They are all so we onboarding, we've given them that access to basic services need to deploy finish. So in terms of cost, what used to cost $1 on email and website hosting, the one service provider earlier. When they came on board with us, we provided that service. It's costing them now $1,000 per month. That's 14,000 saved out. We've onboarded so far. It is now costing us less than it's costing us 6,000, 7,000. roughly 40,000 per month for 36 departments. The biggest difference is downtime since 2019 is the Department of Foreign Affairs. They have never experienced downtime. They've escalated now to the next level. They've deployed email services right across all of their global missions. All can access the email services that we are deploying. And that is one of the biggest achievements we like looking or important to showcase is you don't have downtime. It allows you to process in locally. In terms of security, we've got multiple layers of security, both on the network infrastructure level, both on the application level, on the cloud platform itself. So we can connect with the line of cybersecurity, and we've got certain vendors that support us on the higher stuff as well. Something we plan not disclosing yet. This allows us to guiding people on how we implement the new technology, especially in protecting data. How you protecting data and how you using data maybe. So I think this end of conclusion below presentation below me. Just before we conclude, I think I just want to commend OLA for the wonderful work you do in your space. And going down the path of archives, digitizing is a very important, was part of our history. And it's amazing that we still have some of those information being held there. And I think it's important that we work together, utilizing technology, protecting digital data, make it accessible to users on a secure platform. Yeah. So once again, thank you too much. Mr. Koman, thank you for the invite. Once again, I think you need to look in domain there, but note me number 2 time it up, but we continue. Just to thank you. Mr. Pomalo here, who's working on a few government projects a little bit. So thank you too much once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vito, for us to attend this wonderful occasion. As the manager for DevOps, I'm responsible for developing digital government services for the whole of government. But we have also re-strategized ourselves that we should give some ownership back to our local SMEs to develop solutions on behalf of the government. So in that process, we streamlined a lot of our ways of doing things. So we are now focusing on what Mr. Common Use Services. Those common use services will be utilized by any agency, sir. Just like what he said for IPG. IPG department are going to work in on IPG plan. And funds collected and just channel through the one basket, no finance also. So in the development solution, put in motion na to. You plug in solution provider like IPG tasol and by processing on the payment. Online, this is on an e-government portal, which is a centralized hub for all government services and information. So the pilot project that's tied to it is the police clearance. Thank you, Mr. Vito, for highlighting that. Because in the system, we also saw the dependencies. You need to pay for the, I think it's 60 kina now. So by you go join him line on top of finance na outside the provinces, treasury, people to showcase that the solution here. Because the stakeholder and policy are not only arresting you and solution blower. So yes, apart from that, we are also developing the e-cabinet system as part of our project, e-legislation drafting, and some only legal service by using the writing or documents or legal documents. Just do it online rather than you typing there and a flash drive sharing can want them officer. It's a collaborative doing the changes. It's already identified. So also more KRAs na some of our projects. We thank our very young secretary for giving us Mr. Vito and I the opportunity to work alongside him from the beginning. I must indicate that we were also part of the initial drafting law, Digital Government Act and policy. It was a small team, but we continue to support him in this space by ICT. Thank you, Drew.
as I said, digitalization, of my team in all ICT will be working closely with Department of ICT. So if there's any questions from my other employees or anything, please.
One last thing. Thank you, Thomas. Next presentation, I'm inserting gladly all issues and me as a recipient of national broadcasting. Then me, I'm a straight this approach in the game. I want to ask you the work by making one time NICTA. Now, ICT on the other hand, claims an upper hand, especially NTC, we are caught in the middle. To certain authority threat or Department of ICT come from a long motion, Minister or NICTA.
Thank you, I'm good to ask him. And I think to ask him an important maybe to talk about too is because plenty all government departments or government bodies, plenty global so too much legisla and it causes a lot of confusion in terms of how we implement all projects. Look out in the entire ICT sector of the government. So under the Department of ICT now, we've got regulatory arm is NICTA. So NICTA look out inside for spectrum licensing or not less spectrum. Yeah, so question please. Thank you.
In fact, if you can explain to us which organizations come under you, because we have a bit of issue, I teach information course, PNG. And I've been wondering where Department of Information and Communication Technology comes in, where NICTA comes in, where OLA comes in, Information, Communication and Technology. So if you can please clarify which organizations come under you for our information.
So I think when we put in Mozambique top officer, all government departments is like a business. Plenty of business you go look at, you got team of finance staff, you got team like this. So IT team is the Department of ICT. So we are the people that are responsible for ICT matters, the government. DPM is responsible.
What I mean is which agencies are you responsible for?
Regulatory arm law is NICTA, and obviously LPC for broadcasting. The
I must commend you for a well-presented ICT on cloud. We've visited, over the years, we've visited a couple of private companies, I should say, trying to get hold of a software that we can use for our archives. And recently, we hooked up, we are in the process of hooking up with a company, so I can't remember the name, the full name, but I'm glad I'm in this session. Now I can go back and tell my department that we can spend less, because to be honest, we have spent a lot seeking a software. Thank you. We are hoping to the web.
Thank you. Maybe I'll just do a short introduction and give to the manager DevOps to. So we've been working with the Department of Finance. We've engaged with them numerous times on certain projects. Unfortunately, there's a bit of purchasing softwares, and I think we mentioned this a little bit of it. Not just softwares, but vendors that provide solutions for government. At the time, all vendors providing solution only like the solution in sa work government simply because we have things like legislative or legal aspects that we need to adhere to. An example is simple is collection of finance. Currently, some of the finance matters are collective. Only line responsible for collecting that account brief so that you will utilize this solution. then you are customizing instead of work looking past them creating a customized solution. You spend more money than what you actually invested earlier on. So wasting big money. But I'll get to the DevOps manager and totally lose your side.
Yeah, thank you. In terms of developing an archive solutions with the tech stack, because tech stack will define the whole architecture of how systems are developed. It's standardized across past records. So I'm thinking like, okay, what if we create? But we have so many IDs now. NID is also an ID. Utilize an NID. So it creates our sovereignty to our identity shared across library by using universities too by using. I worked with University of PNG for 8 years. So we built a couple of solutions. Some the PNG system students here from 2008 Kamata Pro 12, you will know local talents blame here. So we developed it. We wanted to get something like that from India, which has cost almost $1 million Kina. But this was only developed for less than 100,000, just 70,000 Kina. Solutions can be developed by our local developers. Now we have many local developers out there. Back then, we have very few. Mr. Vito is also a developer himself. So as long as we get the business process right, that's the key part of developing a solution. Because getting us assume on standards and best practice across the world, they think that this is the right solution for you. IT and understand your business process. But business process will take, is not a problem. It will take only 20%. But the 80% of the win solution, Mr. Vito, don't ever have baked here. Because we understand what they do in the process, who vets it, where you need to keep track of who does this and what before developing the solutions. And then by okay, now we have a model here. This is the business process. Please, you confirm him as a stakeholder. Is this the arrangement with the project? Usat le no by placotimi. Usus from DPM, personal management. Okay, there was a system where you supposed to develop for the HR. You guys are ready to come to seek advice from the ICT, but we have also engaged it's not properly because DPM got all the geos 1 to how many 20 something, and each geos are dependent on each other. But we want to digitize the GO3, but it's also linked to GO2 and GO1. So that's where the problem is. The dependencies are there. So we have to like always you see that. Oh no, it depends on this layer. We have to initiate how that position is being created in the first place before you start to put the recruitment process in. Thinking about like kind of legal processes. So the business process will take time. The development of the technology, it will take only 20%. So if we get the right business process, maybe probably a game law developer and might build the right solutions.
Add on a little bit on that. Kind of some plenty time, and we've seen on this loss to things that we haven't, government spending money, expecting result, and we're not doing anything about that. You need to also all responsible online as well. We can provide you the technology stack, we can provide you all man working, skill set working, but each of us are also part of the digital transformation. Suppose we got thinking or helping automating work planning, so you sabi how things are mapped out, you can. Matimalo, they are scared of digital transformation because they think that all machine that take over work planning. That's not right. All we're doing is enhancing your work. Ask them about the process to how that paper can put on the front log and they have no clue at all. We got value, we can look in productivity, whatever that we're trying to achieve. But if we plenty time we plenty government department less clear. But a lot of our intentions are not to do that. In automating process because the people that are affected actually our citizens. or cross file to make lo Facebook too. Once we commit lo digitizing organizations blaming, we commit to lo help lo mapping out all processes, allow for technology to assist na maybe delivering specifically services for our citizens. Thank you.
In this business for a little while, but and I understand. I tried 2 points. The first one has to do with the understanding between the programmer, the ICT person, and the person who is the and feed it into whatever program. Because ICT basically is a replication. It's the ghost part of the physical being. So if my collection and my job is not replicated well, you are bound to have a problem. So the physical thing must be set right before you make it into a digital thing. This is a particular point we need to make it.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you. Sorry. Since you cannot put the hand on top of it, an ongoing issue for me. If I tap into this digital archive, my encouragement from should I take it to engage in long term and discuss one time, then you tap into digital archive. NBC me plus the experience from me plus NBC and right now me plus getting one of the most state of the art me plus engage one of Singaporean company when they come now. Someone making a work for television, but then realize them come around now to Makayu na. They thought, oh, this is a money thing, eh? Money to say, oh, we can help him through this digital archive. Anyway, all bringing system income. The way you only like him again. Now, me looking, I'm not meeting needs blooming, you know. Example, no system here from Mikla by entering data, it didn't start. It's automated. Me talk, no, this line, you send him this line, like you lose him optional, open so me by me type in name. There are other things, the software, I'm not meeting needs blooming. Let me complain now. In the event that we make a mistake or a duplication of same audio, we put them inside files. I don't know, around this line. Editing part, you know what rights to this line. Only got rights, only controlling the one now. There are times we tend to so me pretend so me losing password to me or something. And then you know what you work, so only you working from Singapore, go, hey, why not system you know update? So only call now using system because of the system now. Only talk lo system now. Okay, now you enter the password, now you make him also. I know that there are Mira sisters came on this line, stand alone or is a one-off thing or people by paying. It's a pattern of the but let me block you. And I'm not by the matter, maybe some payment of just simple thing. Let me tell you, better la porta so the have experience. Before you were like take into this land, then write the line or stuff. So you can go from one ten now can advise you what's the best way forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you, and
One good thank you for sharing story of and I think two plus something a few things that I got out from really story and also and why the government went down the path of government cloud platform. One is big problem is vendor locking. Vendor locking basically affects county government department where even our local subscribers limit there. You know, buying or shutting down service, it affects your service. Going down the path of the government, knowing government, sometimes payments go on time, sometimes they don't. But since we've been engaged with this particular vendor, we haven't had that experience. The thing is, time you water utilizing the platform, it affects processing speed lower to something, work the government. It's the other aspect of the really story. The data that we store inside the government cloud platform is not visible to us. We have an encryption key that encrypts data that sits in there. You can still use your data Nego, but there is no way you will read that data. Accessible to the vendor. Let me play initially, just to give our background, when we attended the training in January this year, our times the particular vendor, and Lomipa logo experience is like the way they do and the technology that's in front of us. We try to think come back on what we could do here. But also Mr. Pomola expressing too is we can't do it alone. The Department of ICT cannot do it alone. We are needing collaboration from all stakeholders. Just to touch on a little bit about the archiving aspect, and Mr. Pomola talked about side law, common service. If mandate law, OLA says for archiving records from other departments, creating solution that can automate that archiving process where records from government now can come start with one laha. What does that do? Research workflow, research mandling, your landonari or whoever, no need local department. You can look source, archive source, by using information, the history or one kind of information you like. So it's like an thinking. And you mean need to come up one time and we need to collaborate with it so that we come up with solutions. And by some of the time we will implementing, but it will be implemented based on the way processes play. So we don't have developing solution if we customize it correctly, if we give over the requirements implement. It doesn't matter whether the solutions are developed overseas or locally, but you know very well that it's developed according to how you like it. Development work here. And was an architect come through him house. Now you look at fix up the house, and you give him follow contractor to build in his house. Whether a contractor in Australia or here, it still builds the same house. So legally talk
Good morning. How is that? I'm Paul from NRI. Sometime by me I planted man talk. Nari, and NRI. So we talk about it. Me and Mama Sambin, I'm very impressed with the presentation this morning, Mr. Vito and the team. I'm really convinced that you are the department that we should all be looking at. I always dream about how can the national records that are kept in here be digitized. And you're coming here, and me, I had an opportunity to call in this morning, and I'm very impressed with the presentation. What I've heard from your presentation, some words that I've used, some softwares that I've used, I am very impressed. A lot of things that is been said, I would say a lot of things too, but I cannot do that. There are a few things that I want to mention is, the NBC have the archival system, and I've had in one of the seminars that I've attended, and they said their records can last for up to 200 years old or more, maybe, if I can recall that. I had that. And for me coming and hearing you, I think it is the way forward that we can go through DICT. Having the database, put in here to record all the records. I hear at NRI, I hear something along the line that is the knowledge hub, where all the information is kept and accessed through one service line or owner working plan and presentation. And ICT I've heard of you, and I've never been to this kind of seminar to hear what you do. And coming here, I've learned a lot of things I hear, and I am very impressed. I really would like the NRI. I have come forward to see the acting director for archives and the acting director for the Director General for the library and archives. I mentioned something about having a system in place, which I decided to mention to them so they can think about it and budget for it and plan for it so that we can have the system in place. We at NRI have a system called Liberty Library Management System. I think you probably have heard of that. But I've been thinking that National Archives would have that kind of forward. What I have done is to get the proposal in place. The provider, the vendor, could give us the proposal so that we go through it and provide all the information that is required. Our users, who are the managers that can log in and do all those, changes and all that. So you have got the proposal in place, and then you go through it and you provide that information to the vendor so that they will agree to it, and then both of us would sign. So that's what happened to me. And then we got the system in place, but we are trying to get the knowledge hub built so that a database can be created so that all ICT information and whatever that we provide from all stakeholders can go in there, so we can all go into there and then get the information that we want. So that is been talked about. But what I want to say here is NRI, the OLA to go forward in having the database for the archive system. It is a must, and I really would appreciate that if we can work through the office and the OLA to work on it and then get the system going forward. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I'll just highlight on Office of Library and Archives ICT. During my introductory statement, and as the DTO for in respect of Office of Library and Archives, we started with basically bringing the necessary other services on board. We have our platform in place. We started with initially with constructing our structural cabling, and then currently this year we have two organizations here. One is right now the archives and library. Library have the biggest goal of going into what we call ILMS. One of the vendors is Liberty. ILMS integrated with the Department of ICT. That is the way forward for us as in that perspective, library. To have those, us right now, we want to build our infrastructure so that those systems, when then approved and through their channel of compliance, then we can flow through our infrastructure, or the internet, to the necessary we identify. Thank you. That's from other side.
Thank you. Just maybe a few words.
Can I say something? I take care of what is published about Papua New Guinea by an outsider or by those published and have ISBN numbers, fine. But I have a lot of information that was after well before the systems came about. And these are the very things that I would want my ICT boys to, or the management must seriously look at what you are presenting today. Because many of our things that are out of the parliament as well, we have confidential stamp on them. And I send the ICT boys back. Because I don't want those things to be exposed to her. Thinking that everybody might have a look at those confidential things. So when they send ICT boys, I tell them, please go back. Talk with the management. Then I will be told by them, go ahead and do whatever, right? So now my heart is released. That weight in me is released. I know my information that I keep there, I don't want to have it stored in what you are presenting today. Thank you so much. I will live with a hard head. I will not be in trouble, because the confidential things will be kept confidential in whatever you have said. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, just a little bit of regarding the archives, and it's a very important data that you hold. Once again, the solutions, like I said, that we build and the solutions that's provided, it's not a matter of DIC requirements. We assess it, and then we come up with the right solution to deploy. Yeah, and for us, so we talk. We are guided by industry standards. We also guide access to one. I mean, even within our own operations, we have access to all those cloud accounts. It's easy for me to just create an account and me go in. That is why when we design that solution, the cloud platform Iplagat, it keeps all tracks of all activity that happens on the cloud platform. You cannot delete that record. I mean, lock by default. So even if I create an account, we delete the account, the logs will already call my name, me creating a one computer, I get a MAC address of your computer, it will get what we call a geo IP. Geo IP address will tell us where exactly you created that, or you configured that device. When you access the information in one app. Whether you install Lay or install one app, we will know. So this law security measures is also taken into consideration into our operations as well. Even Mr. Pomolo and his team, time on coding a program or developing a solution, they cannot push it into production. He has his processes that he needs to go through checks and balances. We plan on approving anything to production without higher stakeholders giving us the clearance to do so. So these are some of the things for cybersecurity we are considering.
Thank you. Thank you for the presentation, Giblo Namoni. I commend you for the presentation. Firstly, while commending you, the lack of knowledge, the lack of understanding about ICT within library and archival for this matter, archival matters, we have another archival area of that library, which is the PNG collections. That these informations, while the mandated duty of ours is library and archival releasing also information, or you accessing the information. But in the protocols now, security is way already governing this two system. One blind archival and totally restricted for certain areas. From library and archive, you can come simple reading and stuff like information. So one time this plan, we planned before. Library and archive was packed under DOE. Once they left with the ICT. So our infrastructure in here was chopped. Email system going to a domain going out. So we're trying to really build. So in our former administrator, I mean giving contract or engaging one vendor. Now we're developing one website and domain going. But my question was this domain safe? Currently I have the website, it's already on www.com.ola.pg. But my question to my ICT is, how do we transfer this particular domain across to our own system so we're able to manage it? So security is kept check and balance on this one. At the same time, that's number one. Number two, while the vendors have been engaged to develop solutions for us, and we've led to look sample solutions, so legal practices, archival got international practices, international system while using disseminating, making available archival information, library to one kind, we got all software, so information systems, like ICT, making available information. But then system the library archive was an agency need to be established. Now, maybe looking one or two of your email communication. Sorry, my name is Eddie Salva. Charles Wexley. ICT staff of Division Blood. So, communication plan is our policies plan, act, now law. that need to be not made quite in a few one or two more other workshops so that library and archive staff really need to understand it because business system law, you need to understand it. Because Mama talk, she was reluctant to let ICT go into the room. Because that business system that she has learned over the years is very hard to let go by because some information are so confidential that you need to access it by way of certain protocols. So this is a business system, you need to understand it. So IT through law, management law, all I need law. Around need law, holding one or two workshops, one or two understanding training, one time Department of ICT, understanding the policies, the act. Currently, you have put, you made Mr. Commander, my manager is what's the name, name tag that you gave?
Digital transformation.
Yes, so he's the officer now responsible for all the ICT matters. So anything that goes wrong within the system that it sets up, chances will be in the questionable arena. So Lord, explain me like Havelo. One, our domain has been created. We spend money on it. I cannot develop a new one without my getting the reward for that money. So me like in this like domain, I must transfer to ICT. Email system, all I must transfer to the ICT. At the same time, people are here, the library in archive, need to get our infrastructure in place. Cabling has been done, but there's so much work need to be done. So understanding the library and archival officers need to be understood. So kind of workshops, the meeting must be continuously held until it's very hard to change someone who's been on that job for 20, 30, 40 years. So you need the time to change him on. One time this people are library and archive. We're moving forward and we're now working around the clock to get infrastructure done. It's the management that need to come to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas Lord. And I totally agree that, people too, also the department, these workshops like these are these engagements with stakeholders, an ideal opportunity for us to talk about what the department does in terms of that space. And since we started this journey back in 2018, 2019, thereabouts, we focused on legislative issues, policy issues. Now we come up to start implementation straight law into utilizing of technology stacks. And obviously awareness is a big and important thing to do. So logical side, management law department to understand Islam. So we have an information team and any on this hub where now we're working towards trying to disseminate the kind of information that our citizens need to know and our stakeholders need to know about the work we're doing. ICT is a very rapid industry. Something that is learned today could be obsolete in the next hour or so. So for us, adapting to that space is important. And unfortunately, side law, you pushing out information law, over the money it sort of lags, but that's a challenge that people understand and work on them. But I totally agree with your remarks in the sense that the ICT within a certain organization cannot achieve what it's supposed to do without support from senior management. And people too, we cannot come and tell him that, oh, you make him awesome, you make him awesome. For obvious reasons, maybe I'm not budget, low or there are some other aspects of the planning that they need to do. But what is important is your own ICT team as well, and probably I think Mr. Command is working on this, is to have a planner. So for the department is for us to come and help you implement this ICT